or whatever.
No, the Indians have been using it forever.
Oh yeah, they have. But I'm just saying, I didn't know how to spell it.
That's why as a kid I had no inflammation in my body.
You just ate turmeric all the time.
That's
Did your
right.
pee smell weird?
I was the turmeric kid.
What else makes your pee smell weird besides asparagus?
I think sometimes coffee. Look, I'm 52. My body is betraying me, which is why I'm having my Laird Hamilton super coffee right now.
That's good stuff, right? Look at him. His body's not betraying him.
Yeah, but what
Still
happens?
jacked at 55.
What happens is when your body is, when I feel like I'm in wet cement when I wake up. Now for the first time in my life, my feet, I got to warm them up before I get out of bed, all that bullshit. Now O'Brien's going to a doc. I'm telling you this right now on Joe Rogan. I'm going to get jacked. If I look a little veinier and my skin looks a little more flushed, don't ask questions. Just know that I got a good doctor.
You got to get on the TRT, Brian.
I can't wait.
Should have gone a long time ago. Why didn't you listen to me?
I don't know. I just because I want to think that my body, my testosterone's a little higher than everybody else's. It was an ego thing, but now you know what? We're all mortal.
Yes.
Like little things.
Well, I have wear and tear for sure from all the years of beating up my body, like joints and stuff like that. Like I just had to get some stem cells shot into my knee. I've had some shot into my shoulder, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But in terms of like energy and like vitality and health, I feel fucking great.
Yes. Here's what I do. Here's my. I can see it. You got a ooh, you're
I
wiggly.
do. I'm 52. I feel fucking great. I'm in the sauna almost every day. I have a sauna here.
Really?
Got a sauna at my house.
You and I are going to sauna after
In the
this
sauna
Russian
all-
style.
Let's do it.
All right.
Dude, it's so good for you, man. It means something. Something's happening. For sure.
Yeah.
After I get out of there, I'm just like a little looser. It's a percentage. I don't know what percentage it is. Is it 10%? Is it more? But there's a feeling that you get after you do a good sauna session where everything is just like feels
Yeah, but
good.
a lot of this
Feels good.
also has to do with arriving at a point in your life where you're happy with what you've done, the decisions you've made. So I sleep, for me, 8 hours of sleep, 7.5 hours, and then as long as I don't eat for 12 hours. So if I finished eating at 8, and I'll start eating at 8 again or 10. That for me, 12 to 14 hours, I guess it's intermittent fasting. Those two things, I haven't had a cold in, 15 months.
You're so trendy.
I know.
Pavel told me. Pavel Tatsulin, who's
The
an amazing,
kettlebell
love that guy.
monster.
Fucking such an honor to have him in here. I'm a big fan of that guy. He told me he eats once a day.
Really?
Big giant meal at dinner. That's it.
At dinner?
Yep.
So how does he stay? I don't.
He's
I
just
think
hard,
yeah.
bro, like nails.
Yeah, but I think
Dude's
I
hard.
get fucking skinny.
He shakes your hand like this. Like looks you in the eye and shakes your hand. I'm like, bro, are we fighting? What's happening here? This is a fucking heavy duty handshake,
Just
son.
a resting alpha.
He's an animal. He's
Yeah.
an animal, and his methods are so like contrary to how you would normally think about like weightlifting in particular, like going to failure all the time, but yet also makes sense.
Yeah.
Like he's saying, do it more often, have longer breaks. Like it's about strength. Like strength is the most important thing. Strength. And his company's called Strength First for that reason.
Really?
Yeah. He's like, you want to do like if you can do something for 10 repetitions, you want to do about 5, and then you want to wait between 5 and 10 minutes before you do it again.
Yeah.
He's right.
Yeah.
It makes sense. If you just do, most of us do not have that kind of fucking time. And for sure, you can get in tremendous shape with a CrossFit workout
Yes.
or a high intensity,
Yeah.
where you're doing box
I
jumps.
prefer
and
that.
You can certainly get, look, there's some people out there that are in phenomenal shape working out like that.
Yeah.
But what makes sense about what he's saying is just like the amount of time required for your body to recover. If you give yourself your body's ability to recover in between sets, you let everything sort of come back to baseline before you jack it up again with like another set.
Right.
Like your body has more time to recover and you can perform more work. And so your body adapts better.
Right.
The idea is that you're overwhelming your body when you're going to failure. You're just beating the shit out of it.
You're also getting injured. It'd be interesting to see
Yes.
how many of his guys are not get injured, and because it's not fair, but my impression of every CrossFit athlete that I know is always like this. Watch, now I'm getting back into it. I just got to pull something's
That's
always
jiu-jitsu too, man.
Yes, same thing.
You know, and I'm a big proponent of that as well. Look,
But
I
as you
think-
get older, I can't get injured. I'm
Yes.
I'm doing, I don't know if you know this, but I'm a thespian. I'm on a show called School on
You work.
ABC, guys.
And you jump around a lot. You're very physical.
I'm very fit. By
You're
the way,
like a dancer.
By the way, do you want to talk about physical? On the show, we had Bill Goldberg on, and you know Bill.
I love that dude.
The best. I love him. Now, he walks around at a very trim. He's my
50.
age. Oh, 260. When he was wrestling, he was 280. And you don't what you don't realize is he played professional football for, I think it was 4 or 7 years. So he's the real deal and just a real athlete. So
also a very nice guy.
The best. I love him.
He hosted a show called what's it called? Garage Mahal.
Yeah.
And they redid my garage and turned it into like a whole training center, like with a cage.
That's
They put a
awesome.
cage and hung heavy bags.
That's
and
awesome.
Put pictures of like old UFC fights on the wall. It's fucking amazing.
Yeah. He's a guy who brings it 100%, like every time, whether it's acting. And by the way, he comes in and I'm like, your neck looks so thick. He goes, it's the first thing I work out. First thing. He's one of those guys like Chuck Liddell when you're close to him. He breathes differently. Like, when you with a race car, like he's
Yeah,
like, what's going on? He goes,
Shelby GT500.
I'm like, how much did you, look at him. I'm like, how much hours did you sleep? He's like, I don't sleep. I've been and anyway, so we had this thing where I was playing a quarterback, and
What's
he
the
had to.
fucking size of that guy?
Oh, it's ridiculous. That's what he looks like right now. That's what he looks like right now. And
He's so
insisted
big.
he had a stunt double. The stunt double didn't do anything. He did all the stunts himself to the point where he had to rush at me in a touch football game. I'm the quarterback, and he had to hit two dudes.
Bro, look at that picture.
No, I mean,
I
it's-
smoked a little weed before this podcast. I'm not gonna lie to people.
Yeah.
But that picture's kind of freaking me out.
He's got a great
That
body.
dude's so big. He's so massive. But here's the thing about him, man. It's really interesting. That the profession of professional wrestling is unbelievably brutal on your body. And
Yes.
all those guys, I don't think, get respected enough for how hard that job is to do. They're doing it hundreds of nights,
They get hurt.
200 plus nights a year, and they're throwing each other around and they get smashed. But what I was going to say is he has come out of it better than most,
Yes,
for sure.
Because he's never stopped working out, and he never stopped stretching. So we'll be on set. That guy's stretching. He says length is strength. He's always moving his body. You know, it's like Kurt Angle told me on the set of Warrior. He told me that he got injured way more. He's a gold medalist in the Olympics as a wrestler. Got injured way more doing professional wrestling. And,
for sure.
And he told and Bill told me the same thing. But he had to come at me, and he said, "Look, I'm gonna come out. I'm gonna knock these two guys down, and I'm coming for your head. I'm gonna dive and come at you. So you have to duck."
This is unschooled?
Yes.
Oh,
so I'm like,
oh
okay.
my God, so you have to duck.
But I had never seen, I'd never been that close to a former pro football player. These are stuntmen, strong guys, but it's a different thing. He would just come off that line and his speed, and he would hit these two dudes with he'd go like that, and the thud. It sounded like maybe when two elephants hit, like just, you know, that
Yeah.
And they would go. They went flying backwards, horizontal, and then he comes and dives and would come for my head. And we kept having to do the takeover because I'm a coward, and I would, you know, I look like a potato bug, you know, where you. I do. Anyway,
I feel like Goldberg is a guy who could do the same kind of movies that The Rock does.
I do too.
I feel like he could
do
be a
too.
gigantic movie star.
I think he's a good actor. That's the other thing. I think he's really good on the show. Look at him.
He's a gigantic dude. I think he could be a big movie star. I think he could do any kind of those action movies. I know he's done a bunch.
Yep.
But I mean, I think he could be a huge megastar. He's got all the personality. He's a really nice guy.
100%.
Smart.
Funny.
Yeah, he's smart.
great.
He's with it.
Yep.
Like, you talk to the guy, he's right there. And very humble for a fucking ridiculously huge giant person.
But such a weird athlete. His hands, his fingers. Like I was like, how do you dial a cell phone? Your fingers are too fucking thick. You're hitting
Dude,
two numbers.
Jimmy Pedro, he was working for Fuji at the time, and they installed. Oh no, he was working for Zebra, excuse me, at the time. And he works for Fuji now. Jimmy Pedro was a gold medalist in the Olympics for judo, and Jimmy Pedro set everything up, and he put the. They put these mats down on like a raised platform, so it had like a little bounce to it. Like if you fell, you got slammed or something like that. And so they tested it out. And so by testing it out, Jimmy Pedro, who probably weighs
A fine day.
175 maybe,
Let me see
you
him.
know, with lean, thin, very strong guy, throwing around Goldberg.
Oh, he was?
Yeah, I mean Goldberg was letting him. He was executing
and
throws on him.
Goldberg will throw himself.
But you see Pedro's technique.